Henry here, owner of The Success Choice and creator of the Success Choice Planner and Choosing Joy in the Journey journals. One feature of the Success Choice Planner is monthly tradition ideas. Now, why would we put tradition ideas in a planner? A goal of the Success Choice is to inspire you to choose joy in your journey. And one way to choose joy is to strengthen your valued relationships. I believe traditions can unify and strengthen relationships. Sometimes we can use help in creating traditions. I had a customer one time tell me that she didn't grow up with a lot of positive traditions in her family, and she really appreciated the ideas in the planner that she could use in her own growing family. Whether or not you grew up with positive traditions in your family, it's fun to have new ideas to strengthen your relationships. The tradition ideas in the planner are just suggestions. You can use all, some, or none of the ideas. One tradition suggestion in the Success Choice Planner is to learn more about your parents or other relatives. Some ideas to do this are: review old pictures with your parents and other relatives and write descriptions of photos. Capture their memories, written, audio, or video. Plan a family trip to visit places of significance to your relatives. Record them telling stories about the important events in their life. My parents captured stories of their parents and their relatives, and they passed on that tradition. When my dad was 90 years old and still healthy and able to get around well, we decided to make a family trip down to southern Utah with my parents. My dad grew up on a ranch and loved the desert and horses. The painting behind me here is one that my dad painted when he was 79 years old, and it was just one of many paintings that he painted depicting his love of southern Utah. We visited some of my dad's old stomping grounds. We visited homes that he grew up in and property that his family had owned, and we recorded him telling stories of his youth. When my dad was young, there were several Western movies filmed near my dad's home. In fact, the area became known as Little Hollywood. His dad, whose nickname was Cowhide because of a cowhide belt that he wore, was hired as kind of a resident cowboy on the movie set. He was also in charge of hiring some of the locals to be extras in the movies. My dad had the opportunity to be an extra in several movies. On this trip, we visited an old movie set, and he told us some stories. One of the stories was when he was in the movie Drums Along the Mohawk. There was a scene where 3 men were to gallop out at full speed, and at the sound of a gunshot, the one with the blue shirt was to fall off his horse. So the 3 men galloped out, and at the gunshot, all 3 men fell off their horse. It was discovered that each of the men had some blue in their shirt. They each wanted to earn the $5 extra that they got for falling off their horse. So an extra at that time got $3 a day just for being on the set, and then they'd get extra money if they drove a wagon or rode a horse or had a speaking part, or apparently $5 extra if they fell off their horse. We spent several days visiting memorable sites. While in the area, my dad asked if we could visit the Pipe Spring National Monument Museum to see if they still had a gun that he had donated. He told the story of when he was 14 years old and he came across an abandoned old cabin. And when exploring the cabin, up in the loft, he found an old rifle. When my dad returned home, he showed the gun to his scout leader. His leader told him that it was a Civil War rifle, and he suggested that he donate it to a museum. And my dad did. We visited the museum and the gun was there on display. The park ranger was so excited that my dad was there that she interviewed him about his experience with the gun, and she also called a local reporter who came and interviewed my dad. This was a story I didn't know about my dad before this trip. It's fascinating to hear stories about our loved ones. Taking some time to capture the stories of your loved ones may be a tradition you'd like to start. Again, this is Pamela Henry, owner of the Success Choice and creator of the Success Choice Planner and Choosing Joy in the Journey journals, inviting you to live your life on purpose, with purpose, choosing joy in your journey today. Have a wonderful day.